5 things I wouldn't do as a residential space planner. My last video was probably more helpful if you were remodeling or building, but this video is going to be for anyone because anyone can control these things with furniture layout, or at least keep them in mind because everyone's space is different. Number 1 has to do with conversational distance and TV distance. I wouldn't place a TV or a conversation zone greater than 10 to 15 feet. 10 feet is considered a max conversation zone. Therefore, that is why TV distance is also a max zone. Luckily, we can turn volume up on a TV, not someone speaking as much, so I give a little bit more leeway there with my 10 feet. Number 2 is I do not interrupt a TV or a conversational zone with a path of travel. As I mentioned in my previous video, living rooms are destinations, and we don't interrupt destinations with paths of travel. Before I move on from the living room, number 3 is I don't place TVs in front of windows. I admit this is more of a personal opinion rather than a rule, but I just don't prefer the look of them. I think TVs need walls. I don't like cords being exposed, etc. TVs need to feel anchored and balanced, and I feel like there is this imbalance it creates when they're in front of a window. Number 4 has to do with dining, and I say no to banquettes or benches. As a space planner whose job it is for humans to interact with their environment, I find benches and banquettes very inaccessible. They are also not ergonomic, not easy to clean, and not, here's a big word, adjustable. In order for our environments to work for us, they need to be adjustable and accessible. My comfortable distance from the table is different than someone else's, so I should be able to adjust my depth. Number 5 has to do with bed placement, and the only bed placement that I try to avoid is having the long side of the bed against a wall. Beds should be accessible from both sides, so it should float in the room other than the headboard. I try to have at least 2 feet from a wall, 3 is better. If you liked my last 2 videos, I actually have a whole series on things I wouldn't do as a residential space planner. I go a lot more in depth and by room in those videos. It is in a playlist for those of you on TikTok. And of course, I have a lot more space planning content to come.